Hi, welcome back to my channel if you're a subscriber. Welcome if you're new. Today I have a really exciting video. It's going to be my anticipated thriller releases for November. But first of all, I want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I did cut my hair, I chopped it off. It was actually down to my waist. And it feels so great to have short hair. I also just love these earrings that I have. I have two hoops here. I got this cute little necklace and yeah, I'm just loving this. I also, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. I bought this sweatshirt. It says death before decaf, which truth, honestly, I love coffee. I love my caffeine and I'm a barista, so I'm all about that caffeinated life. But I ordered this from my coworker from Waco and she was so kind to send this to me and I'm obsessed with it. It's so comfy. So yeah, I'm feeling comfy today. I'm feeling cozy. And yeah, I want to let you know all these thrillers that I'm excited for this month. Some have already come out because it's a little bit later in the month. But yeah, I wanted to talk about them. And I do have one thing to say. I didn't find a ton of horror releases for this month, so I am actually not going to be doing a horror release video. I usually do, but I just didn't find enough to fit into a video. So if you want some horror release ideas that are still new releases, go check out this playlist above. It's all of my horror release videos from the previous months, and yeah, they're still recent releases, so go check them out. There's a lot of cool titles. So the first thriller I want to talk about came out on the 1st, and it is Her Name is Night by Yasmin Angoe. And I'm going to read the description for this one. So it says, Her Name is Night revolves around Nina Knight, codename Echo, a highly trained assassin for the tribe, a clandestine international organization dedicated to the protection and advancement of the peoples and countries of Africa around the world. Her Name is Night is a propulsive character story and action thriller driven by retribution, passion, strength, and coming to terms with your own true self, regardless of what anyone calls you. So this one has a gorgeous cover. It has really, really good reviews, and I wanted to kick it off with this one. So coming out on the 2nd is All Her Little Secrets by Wanda M. Morris. So again, I'm gonna say it, I love the cover, it's absolutely stunning. And this one is about a Black lawyer who seems to have it all. She has an amazing paying job, she graduated from an Ivy League college with a law degree. She gets paid wonderfully, she has great friends, and she has a for-fun relationship with her rich and charming white boss, Michael. Everything changes though when she discovers his body and she decides to not report it to the police because she doesn't want her past exposed. So she takes over his job though, and she starts to realize that the firm deals with some really shady clients and her life gets complicated. So on the 2nd, The Collective comes out, and this is by Alison Gaylin. Now this one sounds so unique and interesting, and the concept just really sucked me in, so I'm really curious to read this one. So Camille is a grieving mother who is obsessed with the privileged man who she believes is responsible for her daughter's death. So she's determined to make him pay, and she actually attracts the attention from this group, and they're called The Collective. So it's a group of women who are grieving mothers, and they are determined to track down privileged people who are responsible for their losses and make them pay. They organize revenge killings, and each one of the members is responsible for an integral part of the killings. Soon she learns some truths about the collective though, and she starts to fear for her own life. So anytime I hear a novel is a revenge story, I just sign me up, honestly. I'm so interested in revenge stories. And this one sounds really interesting, and the whole just collective sounds so secretive, and I want to know about them, and yeah, I can't wait to dive into this book. So on the 2nd, Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Baart is coming out. Juniper Baker just graduated from high school when a couple living on a neighboring farm was found brutally murdered. Her younger brother, though, was the prime suspect, and her life just fell apart. So she decided to leave the town and vowed to never return. Present day, she's back in town though, and she's helping one of her ill friends, but she also wants to repair her relationship with her daughter. and her daughter has been raised by her mother and her stepfather all her life, and she's now a teenager, and she also wants to solve the Murphy murders once and for all. History begins to repeat itself though, and there's a true crime podcaster who is turning up information in the investigation, and Juniper finally has answers, but her daughter's life hangs in balance. Will revealing what happened that summer night 15 years ago be a fresh start, or will it destroy everything? So this looks like it's part mystery and part family drama, and if you're looking for something with a good family drama, small town vibes, I would recommend picking this one up. We Live Next Door by Laura Wolfe is coming out on the 5th. So this one looks like it's a domestic urban thriller, and it says, "You think you know the people next door. What if they know you better? I always dreamed of moving back home to Ridgeville Pines with its white fences and sloping lawns. I wished it had happened under different circumstances, but now I'm here and I feel safe and ready for a fresh start with my little family. The first thing I do every morning is pick up my phone and check the neighbor list, our local message board. Maybe the people next door know a little too much about where their neighbors are and what they're doing, but it's safer that way, isn't it? And my husband, he wouldn't dare sneak behind my back with so many eyes watching. Just when I'm beginning to relax, a woman I've known since I was small is found dead on the white tiles of her bathroom floor. I watch messages of condolence flood my screen. No one else suspects a thing. But I know that among all these friendly people watching out for one another, someone knows more than they're sharing, and I wonder how far back do they remember and who's next." The Hidden by Melanie Golding is coming out on the 9th. In a small seaside town, a little toddler is found abandoned, and a mother finally shows up, and it looks like it was just an accident that the toddler ran away. So the police release them and don't really think anything of it. A man is now found bludgeoned to death in his apartment, but there are mysterious toys around, and it's sort of suspicious, and soon it is learned that he had a secret family, a silent daughter, a wife who's convinced that she is a descendant of the mythological Selkies. Detective Joanna's murder investigation leads her to CCTV footage of the mother-daughter pair from town, and she soon realizes that the mother is her estranged daughter, and it becomes obvious that her daughter is involved in the crime, which seriously complicates things. The Widow by K.L. Slater is coming out on the 12th, so I'm going to read the description for this one. "My husband was not a monster, no matter what they say. The day my husband, Michael, stepped in front of a lorry after being questioned by the police, my world fell apart. He was devoted to me and our 6-year-old daughter, but they've connected him to the disappearance of a young mother from our tiny village. Now I stand at Michael's funeral, clutching my little girl's hand with tears in my eyes, as I insist to all our friends that he died an innocent man. Yet the questions have started. Nothing I say will ever stop them from digging the truth. But none of them can read the secrets in my heart or know about the phone I found hidden in his toolbox. I'm determined that my daughter will not remember her father as a monster. I will erase any hint of wrongdoing in this house, whatever the cost. Because to keep my daughter safe, the last thing I need is for people to start looking at me." The New Wife by Sue Watson is coming out on the 19th. A mother is so proud of her son, she couldn't be happier. He's marrying his childhood sweetheart, and she actually set them up all those years ago. Weeks after the wedding, though, Lauren is found dead. And they question Sam, and it definitely seems like he's hiding something. So the mother-in-law lets herself in the house. She goes in the bedroom and discovers that Lauren has some dark secrets that she was hiding. She wants to clear her son's name, but she is worried that her life is in danger. The Unwelcome Guest by Amanda Robson is coming out on the 23rd. Saffron is married to the love of her life. She has such a happy little family until her mother-in-law moves into her house. Her mother-in-law makes rude comments though, and they start to turn sinister, and she starts to fear for her own safety in her own house. And something just seems totally off. She's really paranoid, and again, something sinister seems to be happening. She doesn't know that her mother-in-law secretly longs for a new daughter, and she is willing to do anything to make it happen. The last book I want to talk about is coming out at the end of the month, the 30th, and it is called Hello Transcriber. and this is by Hannah Morrissey. So this novel takes place in Wisconsin, and if you don't already know, I moved back to Wisconsin with my husband, and I actually grew up here. So this immediately grabbed my attention, and also the cover is just super eye-catching as well. So I had to know what this one was about. Hazel is a police transcriber, and she's also an aspiring novelist. And she wants to write a best-selling novel in hopes that it will let her escape her town. And she lives in the most crime-ridden town of the whole state. She hopes that her job will provide her with content for this novel as well. She is drawn into the investigation of Candyman, who is a notorious drug dealer, and she begins to help with the investigation. She learns just how far she'll go for a good story, and she starts to jeopardize everything that she cares most about. So those are all the releases this month. Let me know what looks the most interesting to you. I'm sorry I won't have a horror release video. I was so bummed that I just couldn't find enough to put in a video. But I have some other great content coming up, and happy reading. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.